Hey guys, Sunday, November 30th, 2025. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do this week. So far, I'll start off with the Elliott wave theory. That guy's is interesting, very interesting. So far, Elliott wave theory got a 1, 2. Though we were going to get a 4 here, and that didn't play out. So it's still on a wave 3. And there's a target of, you could say, 502 around there of a wave 3 projection. But if it's going to go higher, which is very, very possible, you also have 633. So you could kind of zigzag around here. And that's all, assuming that there's going to be a good draw on storage. And, it's going to get cold and all that stuff. There's going to be demand on natural gas. This has the potential to at least get to a 633. But it could also do a wave 4 here. So if it does a wave 4, 438, even 410, and then, push for a wave 5, which will probably take you around 749. This is Elliott wave theory, so it's all speculation. But I'm kind of giving you a roadmap. Stokes are, pushing higher. They're on the overbought, but that could continue going higher. Clusters, you could say after Thanksgiving, 1128, 12.9. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm looking at. Cycles, I don't think my cycles are working anymore, so that's why I don't show them. This was going down while it's going up, so I think it's doing its own thing. So I'm not focusing on cycles. I'm just looking at what the price action is doing right now. So we put our Fibonacci extensions. I'm doing it from these swing points here. We could potentially kiss 504, which is the 2.618. And then you got the 633, which is the 4, what is that? The 4.25 right here. So those are the two levels you want to keep an eye on with the extension. With the Gann box, so far, it's interesting. Here, it was kind of chopping around. And once we hit this area or this vector point, it was 1124. This thing just went on its own. So it's pushing higher. So I have to adjust this Gann box. But I'm not going to do it now. And then lastly, you can see the linear regression channels are pointing up. This is the target I have in conjunction with the Elliott wave. So anywhere between 564 to like 546, with your midpoint being 555. This area right here, somehow it's indicating 19, which I guess it lines up with the time clusters. No, it's 126, so 19 here. But it's too far off into the future. So this could probably be an area, maybe, if it doesn't pull back here in the open, which will probably be in 5 minutes. So I think in this video, I'll cover the open because I'm going to probably, make it to the open. If it doesn't pull back here for wave 4, for a wave 5 higher, it could potentially make a wave 3 here, pull back maybe, or even get up here around 633 and then do a wave 4 and then maybe even push higher for a wave 5, 748. Is there another wave 5? No, I think that's it for now. Once we get a wave 4, then there could probably be 2 wave 5 projections. But that's pretty much it in regards to the Elliott wave theory. It's assuming that the trend is going to continue going higher. And that's all in speculation that it's going to get colder. We're going to pull on storage. The storage numbers are going to go lower. But I'm going to be showing you a few things that's kind of weird. It's interesting. But let's go into the next clip. Okay, so these are this is the master chart. I went ahead and sharing this with a trader that I chat with on X or Twitter. Seasonality, and mind you, sometimes the seasonalities work, sometimes they don't. So I just wanted to put that out there. It said that November was pretty much flat. It could go either higher or lower, or just sideways. And then December, it starts getting weak into like January, and then it kind of creeps up again. And that's using 20 years of data. So this is one data point that I was looking at to see if this makes sense. And so far, December is very weak. So we know that there. Using another seasonality chart, you can see this is where we're at right now in the red. This is, I think, 5, 10, and either 15 or 20 year. And you can see that from December, it confirms this chart too, that it gets weaker in December. But you think it would be crazy because normally it all depends too on the weather. That's what I'm saying. You got to watch the weather also for demand. But it gets weaker. So that confirms too that December is weak. I went ahead and did, I looked at price action 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, this is the latest that we're at here. That was that, the last close. 20 years ago, it made a high on the 12th. The 12th, it pretty much, maybe it was the 13th, but it says I'm trying to get trading days here. So we need to keep an eye on December 12th, Friday, if it's going to mimic that. If it's going to play that again. This is one against techniques. And then it just, it just crashes. So this was... this is a decimal with an annual. Actually, no, this is not even a decimal. This is 20 years ago price action. So 20 years ago, it made a high on December 12th, around there. And then it just sold off. So keep an eye, not the first week, but the second week of December for maybe, maybe where they pull the rug off the floor. This is another one for the 15. So the blue one is an annual. You can see that maybe, I don't know, it might be the first week of December. And then it looks like this is the second. So the green one is an annual decimal. This is an annual projection. And you see that it pulls back. And the decimal, annual decimal together, which is the 10 years worth of data. Look at it opened. 486. All right. So yeah. So keep an eye on that. And also using Gann's law of vibration technique. I can't remember what the post was. If it was 7. Watch December 7th, 9, and I think it was 15th. But I might probably talk about it on another day. That's a Gann technique. So anyway, let's look at the chart. So far, our value area high is 506. Keep an eye out here for maybe a possible double top. 480. What was the high here in March? It was 490, and we went as high as 487. In today's open, we just hit 487. Open 487. Yep. So keep an eye on that. If it pushes above that, it could get to 406. That's a value area high. That's using 10 years worth of data. On the weekly, same thing here, double top. You got a value area high using 5 years of 623. And on the daily, I had to go 4 years, which is 650 value area high. I normally use 2 years, and price action is above all the value area highs. It's above the anchored VWAP. So that's good. And it's above the anchored VWAP on the weekly right here. So everything looks bullish for possible maybe price action to go higher following the Elliott wave theory. So very, very, very interesting. Maybe a couple of things I want to look at here. Is probably put the Andrews pitchfork on a log scale chart. So we're about to be kissing the 25% from important swing points. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's see if it gets choppier on here in conjunction with a double top. Now let's see, channel. We were chopping around. Let me get a little closer. We were chopping around the 50 here. We were holding, and we broke through this quadrant. The next one is going to be this 25. And that's all the way up there. Nothing to worry about there. My FT levels, man, it was choppy here. And we're above that. The next one will be somewhere around 533. We get up there. Let's see. Gap fills, we got a couple. We got one there, there, there. And remember, it doesn't necessarily have to fill the gaps, but at least just know that they're there. Let's see, retracement. So this is our 490. I want to see if we could get up there, and if it does and closes above and pushes higher using Gann ratio, I mean, we could go from the 144.1002 high. We were chopping around the 62.5. So your next midpoint, actually your midpoint will be 573. So this is center of gravity. That one you want to keep an eye on. That's the 50% from the 144 low to the 1002 high. And if we're going to do the 1002 high from the 152 low, it's around 577. So yeah, you want to keep an eye on that because that's your midpoint. It could probably potentially get there very easily, unless it works on a wave 4 here, and this could probably be your wave 5. But if it's going to do this, then it's going to probably do a wave 4 and maybe even push even higher. This is your another quarter, and then this is your 66.7. I think that's it. My SO date didn't really work out as expected. It was very erratic. I guess it didn't work out here as well. Here I thought it was probably going to turn, and that didn't play out. I got out of my shorts. Thank God for Chuck. I forgot that the next day was a change of contract, or was it coming up, and I wasn't too sure with the price action. So I mean, I got a little bit, but not a lot. I probably gave some back with the chopness, with the back and forth. But anyway, I'm on the sidelines. I want to see what's going to happen here. If it's going to be a double top, failing at 490, or we're going to push higher. As you can see, this area right here could be interesting if it can penetrate between just pretty much $5 to 530, that area right here. And if it does get up there, that's your next target. 650. This one is actually, that one's higher. This was 623, 5 years worth of data. Let's look at our simple glands. As you can see, you got a value area high right here on 490-ish. And you're in the cloud. MACD is positive. On the weekly, you're pretty much kissing the linear regression channel on the top end. This is where, normally if you're long from here, you want to at least take some off the table, depending how many contracts you change. MACD is still positive, but looks like it's about to turn, but too early to tell. However, very bullish. You're above your midpoint, mid time frame, which is the weekly, above the cloud, above all the moving averages, just kind of more on the higher end. But I guess it's just because of the weather. It's a little chilly here in Nashville, but maybe, not by much. I mean, it's not snowing here compared to maybe other places. But definitely this could probably be a catalyst to maybe push it higher. You just got to be careful. You don't want them to trap you and then, short it while you're long. You just got to kind of play it right and follow price action. But there could be a potential wave 4 and then a wave 5 higher. So as long as you're aware of that, I think you're in good hands. And the MACD looks like it just got positive. That was on the 28th. And you can see that it was chopping here in a narrow range, just kind of going back and forth. And then from the 28th, they popped it. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to push it higher. But yeah, you're above all the moving averages. Linear regression channels pointing up. MACD just turned positive. Just be careful for a bull trap. If they're going to trap some bulls, thinking that's going to go, maybe they even get it a little bit over 490, so they could kind of make it seem like maybe they're pushing it higher. But if you see an ugly candle or a bear kicker with volume, maybe that was the trap to do a wave 4 and then push it high, and then reverse it to end with a wave 5. All in conjunction knowing that November is very weak and we're entering where it could probably start stalling. So keep all that in mind. I think I don't need to go over anything here. This is a non-log scale chart. So yeah, this thing looks good. Let's just go to the midpoint chart. So our yearly pivot just got hit around 487. And this is where it's stalling. So keep an eye on that. If it's going to push higher using our pivots here, 553 on the yearly. And so far the waves still look good and they still look intact. This is a weekly using yearly pivots. So this is a bigger level around there. But so far the trend is up. Everything looks good here. Now using the daily with monthly pivots. Looks like this is yeah, very overextended. Change of contract right here. We blew right through 478 and our high is 487. So if we're going to push higher, first target would be 506 all the way to 525. Those are and that's going to be for the whole month of December. Targets here. If it's going to push lower, we need to hold at least 447 for wave 4. And so far, this doesn't look good, guys. It maybe be a pull. This all could probably be a trap. The mobiles are not even positive, although the waves are positive. But I like to see the yellow above the 0 line. But the mobile is giving me clues that maybe, just maybe, could be a bull trap. It needs to close above this mobile in order to give me conviction that it could go higher. And this is the daily chart. On the 4 hour, so far it looks good. You're above your midpoint. So this is the line in the sand for the whole week, 463. We don't want to be below that. And if it is below that, then there could be high probability that that's our wave 4 playing out, going into then a wave 5 if we're below 463. But if it's going to push higher, 498 all the way to 510, and this is on the weekly time frame using a 4 hour. But so far everything looks good. All my indicators that I use, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, are all in strong buy positions. And my algorithms that I use, technical algorithms, they all have buy signals. However, you just got to be careful because this is where they could, trap you. So if you're long, just trail your stop, but just be careful. It's pulling down 479. And then lastly, the 1 hour, as you can see, they got it all the way to 487 and they're pushing down, but this is, the 1 hour. It could just be, is this the 1 hour? Oh, this is a 5 minute. Hold on. I normally like the 1 hour, between the 1 hour and the 2 hour. The 2 hour for, less, less choppiness. Yeah, for today, just today only, 469 is the line in your sand. So if they pull this in the overnight, this needs to hold. So this could be a good area if it holds, to go along and see how it goes in the U.S. session for tomorrow. This is the area you want to watch. And if it's going to push higher, extreme targets pretty much 504 all the way to 495. Lastly, 490 is right here, and you're making around 487. So we need to stay at least above 485 and even 474, which is your 90 degree. You get it down below 474, easily could get down to 463, which 463, 70. I think 463 is on your weekly midpoint, if I'm not mistaken, which is this one right here, 462, 463. Yeah. So this, like I said, this will be your 45 degree right here. So if it ever gets down here, this is a nice area to, at least go along if you're not in it. I might probably even get in it If it gets down here, I just have to put an alert to let me know that it got down there, even in the overnight session or whatnot. But yeah, you're somewhere around here. And if it push higher, it's 496 all the way to 507. This is your 180 degree. We just need to close above 490 because that's your double top. And if it fails there and they close it below 485, bears are going to sniff that out and they're going to push it all. They're going to try to push it all the way down 463. And this is when the bulls will probably show up between here and here. And then the battle begins between this area. But if the bulls are strong enough, they can at least get it above 490 first because of the double top. And then get to at least 496 and maybe chop around here and then keep pushing higher. Then wave 3 is still continuing. And I already showed you those wave 3 targets and wave 4 targets on the Elliott wave theory. I'm going to sign out. Hope you liked this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.